This is not the internet. This is the metaverse. Hello pioneers. This week I'd like to do a video on the current hackathon that just ended and go through some of the projects and see what we've got on the horizon. Now, according to the website, we've got, let's call it 5,000 submissions. And with the latest update of the home screen, you can see that there's 360 plus actual submissions that the core team's going to be looking at. So there's nowhere near 5,000 here. Now, one thing I'd like to highlight is the fact that a lot of these submissions are calling themselves Pi something, so you can see here that the core team says that they have that trademarked, so you can't actually do that. Now, I'm not sure if you can actually trademark that, but according to them, they have. You can see that, over the course of since the last brainstorm, there's been a lot of apps that call themselves Pi something. We've got the Pi e-card, Pi taxi, and even the hackathon winner themselves called Pi Chain Mall, right? And they even have Pi NFT and Pi Pets, so there's a lot of these people using the Pi prefix. Myself, when I started the metaverse development, I actually called it Meta 5, but the community kept on calling it Pi Metaverse, so I just went along with it. And you can see I even used the icon of Pi as well. But these were always just placeholders for me, so, and since then, I've rebranded it to something else. So I just find it's interesting because you're going to see the projects that we go through on coming up. They're all using this Pi name, so it's going to be interesting how that affects their validity in the competition. Now, the first entry we're going to take a look at is Wormhole. This is an API application where third-party apps can just send an API call to Wormhole, and they'll process the payments for you, so you don't have to do any of the coding for yourself. So if you see here, we've got our own application. It's just simple as sending an API call off to Wormhole, and they'll process the payment for you. Very simple, and it's a great thing that they're providing here. There's also a Pi Payment Gateway. They're doing a very similar thing as well, just doing it for API calls. And of course, Pi eCard, they just released all their API calls for doing the same thing to go along with their QR payments, invoicing, and URL payments that they can provide. So that's 3 API payment gateways that we've just had added. So that's a great addition to the network. With invoices, we've got another one called Easy Invoice. It's just a way of doing invoices. If you look at the URL, you can see that this is done by the guys at pibridge.org. And their history's been a bit shaky lately, there's been a bit of funny goings on there. If we can just segue into these Pi bridges, pibridge.org, they had their wallet suspended by the core team. Now, they're still denying this, and they're denying it to their people who bought their coins and everything in their community. And they've launched a partner program where they're no longer, because they can't use their own wallet anymore, they're using other pioneers' wallets in a partner program. Right, which is pretty disingenuous, and it's exposing them to have their wallets suspended as well. So there's some funny goings-ons over there. So just watch out for that. With the other Pi bridges, with PiBridge.io, they were suspended from using the SDK by core team. They're still operating, but there's really not much going on there. So I don't know what sort of progress is going on. And just last week, Pi Connect announced that they were stopping operations. They ran out of money. So that's unfortunate, but that happens. The one that I've been watching though is PiBridge.com. So we keep an eye on that one. I think that's going to turn out to be something quite good. So at this stage, it's still just a placeholder on the website. But I'll keep an eye on it and see how things progress. Next up, we have PiScrow, which is providing escrow services. I've covered these guys before. It's a great project. They're in the hackathon. This is where you can create your own escrows and redeem escrows. And they even have a deal center here, which is a bit of a marketplace, for everything. So yeah, these escrow services is a great addition. Next is Connect Social. This is from Meldon over at the Pi Network Telegram group. If you don't know Meldon, if you've got any Pi questions or anything like that, go over and join that Telegram group. They always help out pioneers. They get bombarded with so many questions, and they're always very, very helpful. This is a great site that they've done. They've done a lot of work on it. It does a multitude of things, but essentially it's SocialFi as it goes. It's talking about SocialFi. I want to include PinnyPi here. I'm not sure if they're in the hackathon, but I still want to put them in because this is a great application. You get rewarded with Pi, P-I-E, not tokens yet or anything like that. It's just virtual points, I guess you like, for logging in every day. And you can also do file transfers, so you can put files up temporarily and send a link, and then people can download files from there. This one here is another SocialFi, is Pi Club. Really, really great site this is. They really get what SocialFi is. This is where you can, you log in, progress over to your groups. You can make a post, and when you make a post, you can attach media, and you can attach a financial incentive on top of that. So you make the post, someone else logs in, goes to the post, and you can see that it's hidden content. Right? And from there, they can pay for that content, and the content's displayed. Right? And then this is exactly what Web3 is all about, and SocialFi. So this is an excellent application. Next we have ExplorePi, which is another blockchain explorer. It's quite nice. It's got a lot of nice graphics there and easy to read. Very good job on this. Next we have RideSharePi, providing rideshare services. This is a great idea, for people that are going on trips. This might actually work without Pi having value. We might just, people who are already going on a trip, they might be happy just to accept Pi for giving people a lift, because they're going there anyway. So this one has got good potential, I think. Next we've got Pied Pipers. This is like a code, not really a contest, but where you can answer coding questions, and you get paid in Pi for doing so. It's a very, very nice website. So a lot of work's been done on this. The only issue I can see with this is that the business model seems to be to give Pi away. So I'm not really sure how they're going to monetize this, but yeah, it's a great idea and very well executed. Next we have polls for Pi. This is a great thing too. This is where companies and advertisers can come on and conduct polls. If you take the polls, you'll get paid. Great idea, and companies will pay really good money for this type of functionality. It's really well designed, and so that's a really great application, that one. Next we have a whole pile of gambling sites. I'm not sure how the core team likes this. I don't think they really like the gambling sites, but we know this is going to come up. Got Pi Casino, Pi Wager, and Betverse. In Betverse, they've got one main one that's available, which is BetSwipe, which is where they say Tinder meets betting. And this leads on to Pi Love, which I'd like to class that as where Tinder meets betting as well. So I don't know about you, but to me it looks pretty expensive. So, but another great service. All great apps. All seem to be done reasonably well. Up next, we'll have all our usual malls. We've got Pi Silk Road, Diabla, What You Got, and Dow Mall. I'm sure there's others, this is just a selection. Surprised to see What You Got in here because they were one of the winners of the last from Brainstorm, so I guess they're having another crack at it. I haven't actually seen much functionality from them though, and one of the criteria is supposed to be that you need to show an actual transaction on the testnet. So I never even saw that last hackathon, so I don't know how they got to be a winner. But they're in here again. With the malls, PiChain Malls got their own ecosystem of apps. They've entered in NFT, Pi NFT, and this snake game. That they're both entrants into everything. Obviously, I'm waiting for the NFTs to come live so I can mint all these NFTs that I created for all my pioneers who bought these from me. So that's something to be very, very welcome. Then we got our place for workplaces, for people to apply for work and stuff like that. Now, there's one thing I have, well, it's not an issue, but one thing I've been thinking about these things is because Workforce Pool's been actually complaining that people aren't actually, testing out their app and checking it out. And you got to figure that, everyone's a pioneer. We've all been mining Pi for a long time. So, if Pi becomes valuable, why would we need to work for Pi? Because we can just mine it for free. So I think that's a bit of a hole in the plan here. But, they're good apps though. Next we've got Pilot here. This one, Pilot, sorry. This one's been getting a lot of traction around. A lot of people have been talking about this one, and it's a really good app. Great idea. They're going to bring in all the logistics part of it. So people can sign up to be people who deliver. Now, we get into the problem again with these things, because you need the people who are wanting to deliver, right? And they're going to pay for gas, they're going to pay for cars, got to pay for maintenance, insurances, all these types of things. So this is where we run into the value of Pi problem again, But apart from that, it's a great app. So that's a nice little coverage of a whole pile of apps that are in the hackathon. Obviously, with 360 entries that have been validated by the core team. That's only a little small touch that I found while surfing through YouTube. There's bound to be many more that are quite worthy, But I really liked all those apps. They were really, really great. Again, I like to iterate. You see a lot of those apps, they're all called Pi something, so, they're using the Pi prefix, which, the core team says they're not allowed to do, so I don't know how that's going to affect their selection criteria, like I said, you can even see there's hackathon winners from previous that are still using the Pi name, so I can see that going to be an issue. The other issue is going to be what we came in with the last brainstorm, we had a whole, over 90, say 100 apps that we did from the last brainstorm, and everyone came into the same problem again. Pi doesn't have any value, right? So you can't pay staff in Pi because they can't use it to pay their bills or pay rent or anything like that. People don't work for free. It's nice to get some college students who, are willing to, work on some of these projects. That's great, but when you want to have real economy, real value, right, where it's monetary, Pi's got to have value, right? So hopefully come Pi Day, core team's got a solution for this, and we get some value for our Pi. I really don't think we're going to be getting open mainnet. I meant to show you the PiDor graph of all the KYC at the moment. It's dropped right off again. It's only a few thousand a day. They're still creating wallets, but it's nowhere near what we need. And like I said in the last video, we really need like at least 10 million wallets before the core team's even going to think about open mainnet. So I think we can forget about that. I'm still optimistic. I hope we do get it. But like I said, we need some kind of value of Pi, right? Because even myself, I've had KYC since the very beginning, and I haven't spent one Pi yet, you know. So until I can buy a MacBook or an iPhone like that, then, you know, we're really just mucking around here, you know, and no one's really that serious. So let's wait. We're only 1 week away from the Pi Day for 23, and we'll see what great things we've got coming, because I'm sure we're going to have some great announcements. So until next week, I'll catch you later.